with the Dolphins, he's behind Tyreek Hill. He's behind Jalen Waddle. He's behind Braxton Berrios right now. He might be behind Robbie Anderson.
Yeah, because of the pitching, yes. If your best pitcher is doing that, who else is going to cook for you? I don't know who.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the BTR podcast.
Before we get started, please like, comment, and subscribe, and help us get to 200 subscribers. We're getting closer and closer.
And also, as always, make sure you guys follow our Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We pretty much post daily shorts. You'll now start seeing some clips of our podcast with guests, especially. Also, audio listeners, make sure if you guys prefer it that way, make sure you guys download the podcast and then rate it 5 stars if you enjoy it. If you're also listening to the audio, head over to the YouTube, give us a like, give us a view, 30 seconds minimum, and subscribe if you haven't as well. All right?
Yeah.
Before we go into the NFL and everything else from today, just a reminder, we dropped our NHL tier list on Sunday, so yesterday. Make sure you guys check that out. We will be dropping part 2 of the podcast, similar to what we did last week with the MLB, with the MLB playoff preview, which we dropped on the Tuesday. By the way, love the support on that video and on that episode. So we will be doing a similar thing. NHL season preview will be tomorrow, around 1 o'clock, or not even, like maybe even earlier, just midday, because the NHL season officially will begin. Today we're probably going to be talking about one mini thing. So all the hockey talk will be tomorrow. And that being said, I'm not missing anything, right?
Special pod coming Saturday.
Yes. So as long as the editing and all that works out and we don't jinx it by the file corruption we had on the tier list.
Yeah.
And we have a special podcast coming out Saturday with a potential guest. Keep an eye out as well, because NBA stuff will be coming out the next week as well. Similar vibe, how we're doing the NHL tier list, and a preview for that as well. With that being said, without a further ado, let's just get right into it. NFL, might as well get into it. First thing though, we're going to go back to Thursday Night Football. But before Thursday Night Football, we had some sad news in the NFL. Dick Butkus, legendary Bears defensive player, linebacker, has passed away at the age of 80. Would have been 81 in December. He died peacefully in his sleep, his family stated, on October 5th. So Dick Butkus was obviously not just an NFL player, NFL legend, Pro Bowler every year but 1 year in his 8-year career. He was a 2-time NFL DPOY, 5-time first team All-Pro, 3-time second team All-Pro, 1960s and 70s decade team, 75th anniversary NFL team, 100th anniversary NFL team, and obviously his number was retired. Not only he was an NFL player, he was also a sports commentator and an actor. He was also in the entertainment industry a lot. Yeah. Obviously, we didn't really watch too much. I think there was one. He was, I think, in that one random Disney show. Was it Dog with a Blog or something? One of those shows. Or I Didn't Do It.
I think it was I Didn't
with
Do It.
Alshon Jeffrey. Yeah. So that's where I've seen him. That was the first time I've heard of him. I don't even know if it was that show, to be honest with you.
I think it was, yeah.
But yeah, it was like with Alshon Jeffrey at the time. He was on the Bears when he was still playing, Alshon. But yeah, that's where I first heard of Dick Butkus, and after that I heard his name a lot more. So yeah, rest in peace, condolences to all the Bears organization, his family, friends, former teammates, everyone that knew him. With that being said, let's get into Thursday Night Football. It was fitting. It was very fitting because the Bears were playing Washington. Our prediction was like easy Washington, yeah. But maybe not as much of a lopsided, like, because the Bears proved it last week. But then again, it was the Broncos they blew a lead to. But they won. They dominated from start to finish. It was a 40-20 score line. Justin Fields carried over his performance from last week to this week on a short week as well.
DJ Moore popped off. I think Justin Fields has a perfect passer rating when he's passing to DJ Moore.
Yeah, and he's also not holding the ball for too long.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is the Bears that we expected from the beginning, these last couple games that they played. And, they might be showing... This might be a turnaround for them this season. Just turning point right here. I'm not saying they're gonna make playoffs or anything, but like there won't be a laughing stock anymore.
Yeah. With the Bears, it was like I don't know what fixed. I don't know if it was just Fields realizing what he needs to do better. Just give the ball to DJ Moore or whatever the case may be, or the old offensive coordinator made some changes or whatever, whether it be game planning, whether it be fixing his QB coach or whatever, help fix Justin Fields. But whatever it is, it worked. Right now, I get it. Broncos were ass. Like we'll get into them slightly today, because of their game. But Washington had a surprise start, right? Like at the end of the day, like Washington was a decent team. And they put an ass whooping on them, right? Like a straight up butt whooping.
That's 3 straight L's for Washington now. Starting off 2-0.
Yeah.
Now they're 2-3.
True test for the Bears though coming up next week is the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, a division game is always a test. And the Bears, they might be coming back. You know, they might be finally playing some good football again. And whereas Washington, I'm very disappointed in their defense. Right? I thought defense would be one of their strong suits this year. And it hasn't been great at all. I don't know if this front four is not getting pressure because the front four is actually really good.
Chase Young's always on the trade market for a reason.
Yeah, I have question marks for that defense, and Ron Rivera is a defensive coach.
Ron Rivera looks like he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, right.
Because like I think it was a halftime interview. He was like, I just let the players do the talking. Every time I see him on the sideline, looks like he just doesn't care. He knows that he's gone. New ownership is there, right? So they want their own guy, probably, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I know, like obviously Ron, I feel like is a great good coach. But I think his time is up with Washington. Clearly he doesn't seem to be in the loop with certain things. I don't know if this is a hot take. I think Bieniemy might get the head coach job by the end of the year because their offense. Sam Howell's doing fine. Right? It's just their O-line is shit.
Looking good. Yeah, O-line is shit.
The only thing they need to fix is how to include Terry McLaurin. Because after the game, I saw all Indy fans, because Terry McLaurin being from Indianapolis was like, let's bring Scary Terry home, right? Because he's not being targeted enough. I didn't see him on the field a lot. I thought he was injured. I had to ask if he was injured or not, right? Because like, let me check his numbers very quick. Because like Logan Thomas was targeted 11 times, right? Yeah. Terry McLaurin was only targeted 5.
That's not enough.
Not for an elite number one. Like I'm considering him an elite number one. Yeah. Like he's in the same tier as AJ Brown as me if he is getting the AJ Brown targets. That being said, you guys could argue who's better between the two, but that's not my point here, right? Because I value, and I think you agree that Terry McLaurin is out of the elite backs, one of the more underrated elites, right? Elite wide receivers. Because like he doesn't get talked about as much because it's Washington and all that shit show with Dan Snyder in the past, but it's not helping his reputation now. So who knows? Maybe he would want out. Maybe EB is trying to find something for him. But yeah, I think that's the one thing on the offensive that they need to fix. Next to the O-line to get him included. Because he's one of the best like tough contested catchers in the league on a deep threat. Like we witnessed it with the Colts last year.
100%. The issue is O-line.
Yeah,
as simple as 100%. That. Sam Howell honestly looked good, obviously, and in the second half, up until the point where I think DJ Moore got the touchdown, his third one, the one that basically killed the game, and but from that point, from halftime to that point, Sam Howell looked good, and I genuinely think Eric Bieniemy's proving himself kind of a little bit right here.
Yeah, he is 100%.
Because
the Chiefs haven't looked the greatest either.
The Chiefs are not looking great, whereas Washington kind of, honestly, I actually kind of enjoy watching Washington's offense.
Yeah.
Not in the first half, they were terrible.
Yeah.
But second half, when they were playing when they started playing properly, they're good. Like it's actually genuinely decent to watch.
So speaking of the Bears for a second, they made a trade. Chase Claypool, officially off, Abbotsford boy. So we kind of pay attention to him a little bit more because we want fellow Canadians, especially from our area, to kill it. Officially has been traded to the Miami Dolphins, and it was for, I think it was Chase and a seventh for a sixth, if I'm not mistaken. Which on the Bears side it doesn't look great because you essentially traded the second round pick, but it's a 32nd pick, which essentially converts into a first round pick.
Yeah.
It just happens to be a day 2 pick because Miami's pick got forfeited. Either way, 32nd pick overall this past year. Right, so you help out Pittsburgh with that, who got Joey Porter Jr. Speaking of him, who got the got the pick off of Lamar Jackson, where they went
To
and then
set up the
game-winning drive. But we'll get into that later on if we are. But yeah, Chase Claypool very quickly though. You can't complain now. I understand. I love the confidence. You believe you're the best wide receiver. Every wide receiver feels like that for sure. But the problem with you is, and all these rumors about you not trying to work hard, you believe you're entitled. We saw him throw a hissy fit with the Steelers when he got the first down, but they were losing that game it was prime time. He went the first down celebration instead of running to the middle.
And
then he threw a fit after the spike.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen attitude concerns from him. You once upon a time labeled him as like maybe the worst, not my favorite Canadian athlete. Normally you love every Canadian athlete, especially in American sports. So then it became Dylan Brooks, then it went back to Chase Claypool.
I don't know, bro. Like,
but
ever since the rookie year, he just hasn't been. He hasn't been.
He's been like what? Okay, so like, to be fair, and this is what I heard on the radio as well. I forgot I don't know if it was Mike Tanya or Nick Shook, who was on Halford and Bruff, saying like he came to a winning team, right? 11-0 to start off, all right, until they lost to that Washington team. And so he was always there. He was kind of like a spoiled, as you could say, like a spoiled kid in that sense, right? And on that team, on the offensive side, who were really the vets outside of Ben Roethlisberger?
No one.
No one really, right? Like
Juju.
Yeah, but like look at Juju.
Yeah, Juju himself.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was doing TikTok dances on the logo himself.
So like there you go. Like, who was really the vet? And now you're going. Then you went to Chicago. A shitty situation. You were
terrible situation
with Claypool on the roster. They were 0-10 or whatever it was. Yeah. They may have won today, but no. Sorry, it doesn't even matter because they lost last week and he wasn't even on the roster. If they had won, right?
He didn't play.
He was benched or cut, sent home or whatever the case was. So and now you're going to the Dolphins where you're probably not going to get opportunity, right? You're there for maybe he would have. I thought a perfect spot where it would have been beneficial for him as a player getting targets and a player learning would have been the Chiefs, because they needed a guy still.
Yeah.
And you have Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, with him on that side to show him some ropes. But with the Dolphins, he's behind Tyreek Hill. He's behind Jalen Waddle. He's behind Braxton Berrios right now. He might be behind Robbie Anderson.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is.
He could work his way up to a third option.
But he better believe that Tyreek Hill is going to be on his ass.
At the best, he is a third option, right? Tyreek Hill said
at the best, for sure.
He liked to trade Tyreek Hill. And I guess Mike McDaniel likes speed because he's like he's fast.
He's speed and he's big.
He's big.
His catch radius is there, but the problem is there's always memes about him. His jump, his timing is horrible. But yeah, you're in a situation. You're probably in arguably the best team in the AFC, top 3 Super Bowl favorite right now.
For sure.
Best offense for sure, with a genius and Mike McDaniel. So if you mess this up, you might be coming back. You might be coming to Canada to play CFL.
There's no excuses.
The way it's going.
Anymore.
This is your last chance for me. But yeah, that's that Chase Claypool trade.
And then on top of that,
let's go to Sunday Night Football.
Randy Gregory
going
to the 49ers. We'll start off with that before the game.
Yeah.
And basically Randy Gregory was supposed to be cut by the Broncos. Found a trade partner with the 49ers.
Same package.
Late picks.
Same package as the Chase Claypool. Just swap the name.
Same thing. And
the rich get richer, right?
Yeah, rich get richer.
Especially on the defensive end.
Now
you didn't play today, right? I'm pretty sure you did.
I don't know. I didn't watch a game.
Oh yeah, you had a soccer game.
Yeah.
I don't think he played because I think both of them was tough turnaround. Even Claypool didn't play.
So then moving on to Sunday Night Football, what an absolute.
This was. Yeah.
I didn't expect this. I'll be honest with you.
I kind of did.
I thought it would be like kind of like their playoff game.
I'll be honest. I kind of did because Dallas Cowboys had zero competition and they still ended up losing to the projected worst team.
I could expect where like they go up like say like 30-10 and like Dallas makes it to like 30-21, right?
Yeah.
But like this was just full on destruction. I didn't expect full on destruction. I expected.
True. Yeah, I get what you're saying. 42-10. I could see like just San Francisco being in control the whole game, but it could be closer. Yeah,
that could be like a 30-20.
But this was like butt whooping. Micah Parsons, like this is where the smartness of, I guess they have a new DC now, but comes in because in this case whoever. Kyle Shanahan and the offensive coordinator and the offensive line, because they know that Micah Parsons is going to get to the quarterback. So what they do is they bring in Kyle Juszczyk, and then especially the run game, because there was a play because obviously you didn't watch the game. There was a play where Christian McCaffrey just got blown up right away, and it's because Micah Parsons came in running. So they fixed it by putting either an extra back, whether it be another McCaffrey fellow running back with him, whoever his backup is, or Kyle Juszczyk to plug that area, and then you got the holes, right? Obviously, you watched the first quarter, I believe, on the drive there. Brandon Ayuk killed it. George Kittle killed it.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb could not get going at all.
And then Brock Purdy himself, give him credit as well. Yes, he might be in the best situation ever. But at the end of the day, this guy's a Mr. Irrelevant. Came in, never lost a regular season game yet. And at the end of the day, like, yes, Jimmy Garoppolo was fine in that system, but Jimmy Garoppolo, like, he looked good.
Garoppolo was undefeated at one point.
Yeah, Garoppolo looks good in the offense, right? We'll give him that. But Brock Purdy, and obviously the offense around him makes Garoppolo look good. The offense around Brock Purdy makes him look good. But I feel like the way that Brock Purdy's right now, he's making himself play.
He's not playing hero ball either. So my question to you is if Brock Purdy was on a different team, do you think he would have been this good? Or is it because, I'm going to say this. Caveat, not including Sean McVay and Mike McDaniel. Yeah. Let's just say in a normal team, like if he was on Pittsburgh, like do you think he would be this good? Probably not, right? How much of it is like how much percentage are you? Wait one second. Yeah. How much of a percentage are you saying there's Kyle Shanahan to Brock Purdy's ability?
Okay, so anyone in San Fran could look good, right? Anyone in San Fran as a quarterback could look decent. But the way that Brock Purdy's playing himself, he's taking that decent and adding his thing to it where he's making good decisions all the time. Yeah. His processing is amazing, going from option 1, 2, and 3 with each every play. Yeah. So he's playing great. Like, he's kind of playing like those high-end quarterbacks. Yes, he'll be worse off in a Steelers offense 100%, but I'll still think he'll be better than Kenny Pickett.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, same draft, right?
Same draft,
Yeah, no, like I don't know, because like I think it's a lot on Kyle Shanahan, right? That's me. Because I think Matt Canada doesn't matter. I don't know how good Brock Purdy would have been there, because at the end of the day, you have one of the greatest O-lines, you have one of the greatest tight ends, one of the greatest weapons, one of the greatest backs, arguably, right? So it helps. Like those people saying that, oh yeah, well, yes, the true test is gonna be the playoffs, which he already proved himself a little bit. But right now, the Niners are by far and away the leading in the NFC. Because I know they're undefeated, but the Eagles haven't faced anyone crazy yet either.
Patriots.
No.
Then it was Vikings. And then it was.
They played.
Who was the schedule? They played Rams, honestly, this week. Last week they played who? I forgot.
Buccaneers, Commanders, Vikings, Patriots.
Buccaneers and Commanders. Yeah,
like they're not great. Like I get it.
It's like, not great competition. Yeah.
Yeah. So whereas today, that's why we'll get to Dallas in a second. Which is why, like at the end of the day, I agree though. I think Brock Purdy might have shown that he's better than normal. But like at the end of the day, I think if he's listen, I don't think any QB will work well in like the Saints offense. Well, maybe outside of the Saints today, the Steelers offense. Especially, like I don't think any QB really would do well, right? Yeah. Like if Brock Purdy was instead of Anthony Richardson, I could see it because I trust Shane Steichen. If Brock Purdy was in Tennessee, that would be like, okay, that would be a good test. Like he has weapons, but does he have the offensive coach, whoever the coordinator there is to do it? But my question to you, final one before we go to Dallas, very quickly. We were talking about MVPs last week, and we obviously mentioned the poll. By the way, love the support on that. Is now the MVP for this team Brock Purdy after today, based on what you saw, or based on what you see in the stat-wise? And I could talk more about the game. Or is it still Christian McCaffrey for you? Because Christian McCaffrey didn't have the greatest game.
McCaffrey's still the best player in that team.
Well, no. I'm not asking that.
And it's still Christian McCaffrey for me. But Brock Purdy has injected himself in that conversation now.
Because before I was like, I'm not considering Brock Purdy.
I'm not sold, right?
It was the year like when Jared Goff and Todd Gurley were both probably considered.
But I think I wasn't sold on Purdy to be like that guy yet. But I believe Purdy is that guy now.
Yeah.
Right? Because I was like, how much is it Shanahan? Right?
I still believe it's a lot Shanahan.
I similarly think this thing is that like no matter what quarterback you put in there, Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, Sam Darnold, who is their backup right now, Brock Purdy is going to provide you the best results. As simple as that.
Trey Lance is just sucked that he was injured. Like, he didn't get a proper opportunity. So I don't want to hear in the comments. Like I get it, he lost the trading camp battle. That's why he got traded. Don't get me wrong. maybe something didn't look right, but at the same time, he was just injured. So I'm gonna give that, and he didn't have the experience.
But you know how like it's not the offense making Brock Purdy look good. I mean there's a factor to that for sure.
Listen, he's the one throwing the ball too.
But Brock Purdy is also like there's so many moments where Brock Purdy's making this offense look good himself.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I was listening, I think was it Chris Collinsworth and Tirico? They're the commentators. They were saying that like he acknowledges that he ain't the strong arm guy like once upon a time Ben Roethlisberger was, or currently Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He knows he's not that, but he knows that he could scan the field like you literally alluded to. And he's using that to his ability. So it's not like he's trying to play hero ball, which sometimes you saw with Jimmy Garoppolo at times. Because Jimmy Garoppolo's strong suit was also his running. He was a more of a better average runner. Because that's what he was considered. Like he was able to run, right?
Nah.
I'm not saying he's Anthony Richardson, Lamar Jackson, but he was able to use his legs before his injuries. I'm talking about when he was.
It's kind of similar to Birdie. Movement wise,
I
don't see it.
That's fine. But like that's from what I'm hearing was his running helped him a little bit, but you could see that he was not accurate. At least Purdy's accurate.
Yeah.
So, moving on to
he's like one last point. You know how they say who's a quarterback you could win with and who's a quarterback you win because he's both. Like he could do both. You know why? Because like you said, he's not hero ball, right? But when it comes down to those moments, he shows out.
Yeah. We're definitely gonna see it more in the playoffs.
Because at the end of the day, like San Francisco, and when you're in that situation, it's gonna be most likely a situation quarterback you could win with.
This was the first test because of that defense. And listen, let's go to Dallas because I ain't trying to hear Trayvon. Like, listen, Trayvon Diggs is a huge miss. So at the end of the day, I get it. He gives up a lot of yards, but when it's come to contested catches, Trayvon Diggs will make the play.
Yeah,
right. 100%. We all know that. And when you paired him with Stephon Gilmore, it was tough to do it because Malik Hooker's had his resurgence with the Cowboys after the Colts, right? So their secondary was elite this year. Trayvon Diggs goes out, you're relying on Bland, I believe is his name. Stephon Gilmore is still Stephon Gilmore. He's still doing what he can. But you can't say that you give up 42 points is because Trayvon Diggs wasn't there.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Like you did a good job with limiting Christian McCaffrey. I get that, 50 yards. But Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel and George Kittle killed you in the middle of the field and long-term battle. The penalties still killed you.
Penalties.
And yeah, like
I don't know how much pressure you got on Purdy. How much did they really get?
From what I was watching, it wasn't like I said, the fullback usage was great with Juszczyk. The O-line performed well. Like Micah Parsons didn't have like his standout moments.
So at the end of the day, you win in the trenches, right? And 49ers won in the trenches.
Yeah, and then on top of that, offensively, Dak went back to Dak mode.
3 picks, right? I saw that.
Some of them were brutal. Cooper Rush came in late on, but 1 TD, 3 picks for the TD was nice. Like I think Turpin had a great route when they scored when it was to make it 14-7.
No
but
CeeDee Lamb, right? Like he didn't.
CeeDee Lamb, like he was locked down. I don't know who was guarding him.
Travarius Ward.
I don't think it was him. It was someone else.
Someone else.
He was getting what'd you call it? Just locked up. 5 targets only.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
He only had 5 targets. Pollard had 5 targets. Ferguson, Gallup had 5 targets, only 2 receptions. Brandon Cooks, you brought him in to be your deep threat. He hasn't really done much there, I think, in the season as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was both teams' first true test, right? Yeah. And Dallas failed miserably because this is why I did not, for those guys saying Dallas should be considered top 5. They lost to Arizona, and the only way they were going to make it to the top 5 was if they make this even a close game, or win it.
Yeah.
And they got their ass kicked.
They got their ass kicked. And simple as this, if CeeDee Lamb's not going, your offense, your pass game's not kind of screwed.
The main test I want to see from San Francisco now is I want to see them play Philly.
Yeah, Philly's
that's going to be the true test of who the best is. Because Philly, Philly in that division, I want to also see them play Dallas.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I'm not sold on Philly either. Because they've been struggling offensively in terms of how the calls. Jason Kelsey was going off on the old line coach and Sirianni for some reason, even though they were fine.
Let's move on to that game now.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp makes his return.
Looked phenomenal.
And this is what I expected from the Rams. Like I'm like, this is why I was like, obviously my Giants pick is gone. Like it's shit, right? But then I was also considering the Rams, and I kind of backed down from it because you kind of convinced me with your argument. But obviously Aaron Donald getting hurt doesn't help. But at the same time, Puka Nacua, I didn't expect him to do what he's doing. Now you partner him with Cooper Kupp, right? And then you still have Tutu Atwell and Tyler Higbee.
Cooper Kupp's return was 8 receptions, 118 yards. Puka Nacua got 7 for 71 and a touchdown. So they work well together, I guess. But at the end of the day, you only scored 14 points.
Yeah.
So those stats mean nothing. The Eagles' defense found a way to stop you. Whereas the Eagles themselves, Hurts threw a pick, but Hurts honestly looked good on the ground as well. Got a rushing touchdown. I think this was one of Philly's better games, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It may not have been like the clean ones, right? But I just felt like in this game, Philadelphia Eagles were in control, in my opinion.
I mean, Buccaneers in a way,
and Buccaneers, Buccaneers.
But
Buccaneers, Buccaneers are probably one. Buccaneers is one. Then I'll probably put the second as a performances.
Sunday Night Football in 2 weeks. Get ready.
Niners, Eagles.
No.
Eagles, Cowboys.
No.
Eagles, Chiefs.
No.
What the hell is it then?
Dolphins.
Oh shit. Okay.
It is like elite.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I wasn't saying like it's a random team. It's Eagles because next week is the Jets. We'll get to that soon. But Eagles, Dolphins. Then it's Eagles, Commanders, and Eagles, Cowboys. Eagles, Chiefs. Eagles, Bills. Eagles, Niners. Eagles, Cowboys. Eagles, Seahawks. Then they kind of end easy.
Yeah, they're gonna get.
So that stretch after the Dolphins, they have the Commanders, all the way till like before they play the Giants, essentially on Christmas Day. That's gonna be the true test to see who's gonna be the best in that conference.
I'm looking at the Rams right now.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, they're not gonna be anyone that's better than them. We're like the Philly, San Frans or anything.
They blew a 23-point lead against us. So
yeah, that too. So they're like the teams that like just try to beat up on those lower end teams, and you can potentially see yourself as a wild card.
Yeah.
You got Arizona twice. You got Steelers. Honestly, I think you should beat the Steelers, in my opinion. Seahawks you already beat one, so you could survive that. Commanders, Giants. They could be making it tough against the Saints near the end. But playoffs are gonna be tough for the Rams.
It'll be tough. For sure. I thought they could have made like a push for a spot. I don't think they would have made it, right? I was thinking they're more of a playoff team than they were a bottom 4 team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be like those teams that it's gonna be like just out of the bottom.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're not gonna be the bottom 5, but they might be the bottom 10.
Yeah. Let's move on. We gotta talk about this team. This is collectively for sure when we do our superlatives for Thursday's episode. This is hands down the most disappointing team. So when we do our superlative / our recap of the week, or who our most disappointing team is, we'll probably have to pick a different one because the New England Patriots have 3 points in their last 2 games.
Dallas Cowboys and the Saints.
Yeah.
Saints offense isn't great.
Yeah. So like the fact that your strong suit is your defense, and you allow 34 to the Saints.
It also
is insane.
It also doesn't help when I think Judon was out. I believe.
True, but
and Christian Gonzalez.
But what's Bell's strong suit?
Yeah, he'll find a way.
He finds a way on the defensive end, for sure. Offensively, he has question marks.
I mean, this team is, in my opinion, right now might be the worst team in the East Division. Even though they beat the Jets.
Yeah,
I feel like the Jets might be. Zach Wilson, I think, finally is figuring it out. They obviously got a win today, but right now they're terrible.
Is Bailey Zappi starting next week? Because he came in twice now.
I think he should.
Right?
I think he should.
I think Mac Jones should be like 3rd string next week and bring in the guy from the Cowboys.
Will Greer, yeah.
Yeah, bring him in.
Do they have him?
Yeah, they do.
They have him, right?
We discovered this last episode.
Yeah, because I thought he was in the Browns or Bengals or something like that, right?
No, yeah, it was the Bengals, but
the Patriots play. Where the hell are the Patriots? The Raiders next week.
That should be a win, right? Because Raiders we'll find out what they do on Monday Night Football when we get to it. But no, like, here's my question to you, and they brought this up on the mainstream media as well. Is Bill still the greatest head coach of all time? Because he ain't looking good now. If you're considered the greatest of all time, you have to find a way.
Yeah, you have to find a way.
And I know
like I can't take. Let's be real.
He sucks at build. He's a GM too, which sucks. That's what's ruining his reputation
That's
because
what's
he can't build a team.
He can't build a team. But I'm not gonna say anything like that after just. This is probably his first real bad season. I mean, last couple years were decent still. Like they were.
Well, he was under 500 the first year without Brady. He was under 500. It was 7-9 year.
It was 7-9. Was that Cam Newton?
Yeah.
Cam Newton got hurt too, right? He wasn't.
It was that year, and then
Cam Newton was good in the beginning.
He was good with Mac Jones.
They were good in the beginning. Cam Newton got COVID, missed a couple games, and wasn't the same again.
Mac Jones rookie year, he went obviously good to the point where like okay, they got Brady. Mac Jones has the same amount of pick sixes in his Gillette Stadium career that Brady that at the same time as Brady has in his career. I think already matched it.
Yeah.
So,
but I'm not gonna tarnish him yet. If next year maybe yes, but I think this year is probably his first real bad year where like I genuinely blame Belichick.
Do you think there's a chance that Belichick leaves? Like I don't think he gets fired unless who knows, their owner is kind of ruthless at times. But
who knows? Yeah.
How do you fire guys like Bill Belichick?
You could fire him as GM, but you can't fire him as a coach.
Yeah, like so.
I would remove him from GM duties.
The solution I heard with that is just get him. Yeah, just take him off those duties and get someone else in.
Yeah.
And let him just focus on the coaching. Because he could coach. Like against the Dolphins, he did well defensively.
He did.
Christian Gonzalez had a great... And to your point, it doesn't help that you're missing two of your studs. But 0 points scored is still insane. Like, I get it. The Saints have a great defense. Right? They had a very Marshawn Lattimore, Cam Jordan, all these guys, right?
Yeah.
Tyrann Mathieu. But at the same time, you got to find at least a field goal. Getting shut out in the NFL is hard. Like getting shut out is hard. It's insane. Right?
Yeah, like it's embarrassing.
And then on the flip side, allowing sure, if you lost 10-0, I would fine. We expected that.
Yeah.
Because with that Saints offense,
I'll even take 20-0.
With that Saints offense,
I'll even take
you
20,
expected that because like they have their own struggles in play calling. But now I get it. One of the touchdowns was a pick six, right? Tyrann Mathieu.
Yes.
So 34
like
minus
28.
7. But yeah, like from what I see, it was Derek Carr didn't even have a game. It was like he had 2 touchdown passes, but he was like 183 yards. Alvin Kamara got a rushing touchdown. So yeah, so 21 points are right there. So 21 points were right there. Kicking wise, it was two field goals. So it matches into the math.
But to conclude your question, I'm not gonna start now. Maybe next year, but this year I believe it's his first real Belichick bad year. Whereas other years with Belichick bad years, whereas other years I feel like they were still decent.
Would you think like Belichick would be like, you know what, I'm out, but I don't see him retiring, but maybe take a different job somewhere else.
I don't think so.
Because technically Tom left too, right?
I don't think so.
Okay, so that on that side, this is the Saints I expected in a way.
Yeah.
So that's fine. We don't need to get too much into it.
Let's go Jets Broncos.
No, I'm gonna talk about one disappointing team still.
Okay. I wanted Jets Broncos though.
Okay, fine. Let's go there.
I want to talk about the beef.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna get to there in a second. Okay.
Hackett.
Yeah.
Sean Payton.
Sean Payton looks stupid.
He looks so stupid. He looks so bad.
How do you make those comments and then lose to that team without Aaron Rodgers?
Without Aaron Rodgers, yeah.
And you have Russell Wilson still.
I don't know, yo. Is he really doing anything? He's definitely not worth the first round pick.
Was it first or second?
Whatever it was, he's not worth any pick. He's not even worth the 7th.
Now here's the question: is Sean Payton gonna quit or get fired?
I don't know. I'll be honest with you, but
I don't think he gets fired because he gave up so much.
One thing's for sure: it's the same thing as last year.
Russell Wilson.
Last year they were doing better. They were leading the division in week 2.
Russell Wilson is not doing bad, right? Compared to last year, that's fine. But how do you you almost lost to the Bears last week? If it wasn't for a Justin Fields fumble. Now I get it, your defense did good. And then reports are coming that
31 points against the Jets, really? Are you serious?
Huh?
Allowing 31 points against the Jets?
Like Zach Wilson didn't throw a touchdown pass. He was like decent, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, his play calling beat your play calling. Right?
Hackett did better than you. Hackett outclassed you.
And Hackett is a play caller.
Yeah,
right?
Hackett's we're not obviously Robert Saleh deserves credit too, but
the
reason why we're saying Hackett because that's what Peyton and
that's
the comments where Peyton's like, yeah, last year was a shit show, but like this year might be even more of a shit show. Whereas last year Hackett still, the first 4 to 5 games, he still had kind of a winning record. I'm pretty sure they were like a 2-1, 3-2 team at one point, and that's where they fell off.
I'm just checking if there was any defensive scores for them.
I think the fumble recovery at the end, right? Was there a fumble?
Oh yeah, that was at the end.
Yeah.
So that's 20. So 24 points might be from the offense.
Yeah, still. That's a lot with the Zach Wilson-led team. But Zach Wilson himself, he's playing better.
Yeah.
We'll give him credit for that. Threw a pick today, but...
horrible pick at the horrible time.
Yeah.
And Russell Wilson is holding the ball too long at times. Again, that's a definition of hero ball. Like the
Russell
opposite
Wilson's
of
hero
Brock
ball,
Purdy. But at the same time, he's not having a year like he was last year.
He's better than last year.
So, I don't know. There's reports coming out you're willing to trade almost any defensive player, which means if Pasterton's available, everybody in the league is probably calling for that.
100%.
Right? Like, if I'm Indy, I'm offering 2 firsts if I can.
He's already considered a top 5 cornerback in the league.
Yeah, like the beef, like you just Sean Payton.
You got shot on.
Yeah, like he does not look.
Bro,
this is the one game you could have gone 0 up to this point, and you could finish 1-16. This was the one you needed to win.
Yeah, 100%.
This is the one you needed to win. It does not matter. You could have lost the rest of the games, but this is the one that you needed to win. It doesn't matter what, because you literally called out the guy. And without Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers would have been motivated for this game anyways, he probably would have lost by more. Right?
Yeah.
Like if Aaron Rodgers was a quarterback.
I would understand if Aaron Rodgers was a quarterback and you lost.
Yeah,
obviously it'll still look bad. It'll still look bad, but you lost without Aaron Rodgers. That's the most embarrassing part as well. He outclassed you.
Denver is up there, the most disappointing teams in the whole league.
Yeah.
But speaking of disappointing, we haven't talked about this much because no one really pays attention to them, I guess. Did you expect this from the Carolina Panthers? Being 0-5 at this point of the stage.
0-5? No. 2-3 maybe.
Yeah.
Probably max. People believe that Bryce Young was in probably the better situation than Colts and Texans. I did not believe that.
I believe that.
That's
why I put him second in the division. Similar. I put him second in the division for that reason.
Yeah,
you gave him Adam Thielen. You get
I still thought it was similar. I didn't think it was Carolina was a special place for him.
Yeah,
right?
But 0-5 though.
But 0-5 is bad.
Listen, I was so happy Frank Reich got a job because I thought he was scapegoated, and now you do not look good, right? Like if this continues, Frank Reich could be fired by week 8, 9.
Yeah, you're not scoring at all, really. Other than Seahawks, where you lost 37-27. Falcons was 24-10 L. Saints was a 2017 L. Vikings were 21-13 L. Today was 42-24.
But you gave up 42 in that as well. So.
Falcons.
And it's not getting easier to play the Dolphins next.
Yeah, they're not looking good at all, bro. And I don't know how much you put on Bryce Young. I don't think I should put. I don't think.
Listen, they're doing a Bears a solid.
They are doing a Bears a solid for sure. Yeah, clearly they're not figuring it out right now, and Frank Reich could be fired this year.
In any of the preseason mock drafts, I did not see Carolina in bottom 5. Like finishing bottom 5.
Yeah.
Right, which means I understand it's a Bears pick. Like I thought people automatically thought Arizona, Houston, which means 2 Arizonas, Indy, Tampa, and even the Rams. Like you had the Rams, right? So
yeah,
those were the 5 essential locks for the bottom. And
Texans are going good. Indy's going good.
Yeah.
Rams are going good. Buccaneers are.
But yeah, like I wanted to talk about this team today because 0-5 is not what I expected from this team.
No way.
There's no chance.
They're the worst. There's no way. They're the worst team in NFL.
I'm pretty sure I could picture Frank Reich's post-game conferences. It's the same as Indy. We're getting there. We're slowly working on the process.
It sucks, guys. But I feel like we'll figure it out. The coaches got to coach better. Players got to play better. But starts with us coaches. We got to do this. That's what he said all of last year.
Yeah.
Until he got fired for Colts. So probably saying the same thing again. And I think Frank Reich, as many good years he had with Philly and early Indianapolis years, I think his stuff is just drying out. He might not be a head coach again.
At least for next year.
Yeah. And OC or any of those offensive coaching spots could still be his.
Okay, so I'm
And
gonna
I'll still give him that, but head coaching might not be his. It might not be a thing for him.
So they're the only winless team, I believe.
They're the worst team in the NFL.
Okay, so ready? I'm gonna say team names, and if you're confident that they'll get their first win, in a way, I guess they're the worst team, so you're not gonna be as confident.
Yeah.
But, okay, Dolphins.
No.
Bye week, so that's a win.
That's a win itself.
Texans. I guess you could see them getting a win then, but
Yeah,
like the way CJ's
yeah.
balling though.
Yeah, Texans are kind of like on and off a little bit because they had the 3 losses they had, they weren't great offensively, but the 2 wins they had, they were freaking amazing.
But if you were to pick, it's at.
I'm giving obviously I'm gonna give the edge to Houston.
Okay.
But I could see him getting their win there.
Indy.
Yeah.
And at the Bears, I think that's the one where they could.
Bears, yeah, for sure.
Cowboys, no.
Cowboys,
Titans,
no.
probably not. Bucks, though not the way they're playing right now. Saints, no. Falcons, not right now.
Kind of division matchup, yeah, I could see it.
So like the only win I could kind of not even pencil in because Justin Fields turned it around.
Yeah.
So like
you could pencil in Falcons, Indy.
Like if I were to, if you're a betting man,
yeah.
When do you think they'll get their first win? So like I said, Dolphins, Texans, Colts, Bears, Cowboys, Titans, Bucks, Saints, Falcons, Packers, Jags, Bucks. If you want, let me know which one's the home game. If you're wondering out of the division, especially
Houston could be an option, Chicago could be an option, and Atlanta.
You're
could
just
be
like
an
if
option.
it's Indy, I swear to God.
I swear to God, I could put Indy as an option too. Those are only 4 teams.
So you're saying So you're saying literally the next 3 weeks.
They have 2 Bucks too as well.
Yeah.
So one of the Bucks as well. So those 5. I don't think they're winning all 5, but I think if they're gonna get a win, it'll be again one of their It'll be one win from.
Okay, so make a prediction.
Teams.
When do you think they'll get the first one?
I think it might be. I'll go with Chicago.
Okay, that's what I was going.
Yeah, I'll go with Chicago.
Should I go Cowboys just for the hell of it? Because that's the team that.
imagine the Cowboys.
But yeah, no, I think it will be Chicago. But that being said, I won't be surprised if it's Indy. Just because like our teams always end up being that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're anticipating their November 9th to be their first win.
Yes.
Which is like that's week 10.
0-9.
Okay, very quickly, the
1-9
Detroit
team,
4-1 team could definitely could be a situation for us to put them in the top 5 right now. Outside of the Chiefs, obviously they won the games they're supposed to win. Easily could have been 5-0.
Should have been 5-0.
Should have been 5-0.
Should have been.
Falcons, okay, I see a win there. Packers, I see a win there. Panthers, obviously. So yeah, the Chiefs win was big, but that was week 1, and how much of that was like Kadarius Toney effing it up? But at the same time, their schedule is not that hard.
They're doing good,
right? So they're comfortable. Their trick play was insane. I think Purdy, that was one of the Kittle touchdowns. It was exact same trick play. I think almost the exact same trick play.
Yeah.
As well. So Detroit killing it, making me look right more so than you right now.
I honestly, I don't know why I switched.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you off camera, I was like, yo, Detroit's winning division. Detroit's winning division.
Yeah, and you switched.
And then I switched to Minnesota.
Minnesota flipped. Like last year, Minnesota was, I think, undefeated or like one loss in 1 score games.
Yeah.
And listen, Minnesota, they're winless in 1 score games. But at this, or I think they won 1. I think that
the Panthers
one was 1 score. But Minnesota's playing better than their record. That's for sure.
I'll give them that, yeah.
So, in a way, you're not wrong, but results matter, right?
Results matter.
Before we close off with Indy, let's get to, because we have big news there, right? Off the field.
Yeah.
I want to talk London. Jacksonville finally had we were challenging them to have their first statement win, and they got their first statement win.
Yeah.
Against Buffalo.
Buffalo's defense is deteriorating.
Matt Milano's out for the year, most likely.
Most likely out for the year. You already lost your Davius White. And
Trevor Lawrence had his best game of the year.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how much it helps that there was already in London and Buffalo had to travel.
And I don't think Buffalo was terrible. I don't think Josh Allen was terrible. They still were, like, their offense-wise, obviously they could have done better.
Like, they got a touchdown in 40 seconds.
Yeah, they could have done better for sure. But when their defense needed to come clutch, they definitely did not come clutch. The pick that Josh Allen threw was also, I don't mind that pick compared to the ones that he threw in the Jets game.
Yeah.
Like, that one I didn't mind. He gave Diggs a chance to have one-on-one, and the corner beat Diggs.
This was the classic Jags win. And Trevor Lawrence threw 25 for 37. Yeah, he only got one touchdown, but 315 yards.
Yeah,
right.
They were moving.
On top of that, Travis Etienne rushed for 136 yards on 26 carries. He got 2 TDs. And then Calvin Ridley did not get a touchdown, but 7 receptions for 122 yards. Christian Kirk with 6. And then obviously Etienne. And
Jags finally put in a solid performance.
Like an all-around performance offensively. Josh Allen versus Josh Allen matchup.
Yeah. Josh Allen said he was scared of Josh Allen.
Yeah.
The quarterback, Josh Allen, was scared.
Yeah.
And just one final thing. I don't think Bills played complimentary. Or there were many fumbles forced by the defense. And obviously some were Jacksonville's mistakes where the Bills' offense didn't capitalize. And when the Bills' offense started to capitalize, the defense couldn't get a stop at the end.
Yeah. So this was a Jacksonville you wanted to see. They stepped up. Obviously, big game next week.
A big game against the Colts.
But with Buffalo, our power rankings might be all over the place again this week.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Like definitely, Eagles are not going to be my 5 now for sure. From last week,
they're going to be in their 5.
They're going to be in my 5. They're not going to be at 5 now.
Okay, yeah.
Because how do I rank Buffalo when they beat Miami? But
figure it out.
Huh? I don't know. I'm just saying in general. I'm just saying that out loud thinking here. But speaking of Jacksonville,
that's for off camera stuff.
yeah. No, I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
Like it's tough.
But yeah,
I love the parody though. Love the parody.
Jacksonville and Indianapolis Colts are gonna be having a game in Jacksonville to see who will take the division lead.
So Indianapolis broke 2 streaks, losing at home. First win since Frank Reich was head coach last year.
Yeah.
And those of you guys don't know, Indy had Jeff Saturday at one point as head coach.
And their only win was in Vegas.
It was last year's Jacksonville game, at home. Their only win
with Jeff Saturday was in Vegas.
Yeah. And then the second one was losing 5 in a row to the Titans. That got snapped as well. Biggest story from this. Before I go into that, now they're trying to losing in Jacksonville streak. Right?
Yeah, that's
the only one
streak,
after that is can they win a week 1 game? But that's next year's. But
starting off with Jonathan Taylor.
Okay, we want to go right there.
Let's just start with the biggest thing.
So the biggest thing is Jonathan Taylor. We were raving about him coming back, but at the time we have no clue what was going on with the contract. And when he was officially off the injury report on Saturday, he's activated. We're like, great, cool. I didn't get the notification. I was just scrolling Twitter and I see Adam Schefter tweet, and I had to make sure that it wasn't a fake Adam Schefter, like how it is on Twitter. And after that, I saw Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero and Diana Rossini. Every one of these insiders report the same thing, that Jonathan Taylor extended with the Colts. And now, to the people that were doubting Joven and I, ha.
Bro,
we were right.
It was overblown. Right?
So overblown. Would I've been surprised that they traded him? Not really. But I was genuinely, and we were genuinely like, no, this is just he will get paid because Jim Irsay pays his guys. We just want to see him play.
It was a health issue, right?
Yeah.
He's he finally got healthy, was stepped on the field. Obviously, he didn't play much, which makes sense. Although I expect him to play a little bit more. More than 5 rushes.
It's just they're easing him into it.
Yeah, easing him into it.
And Zach Moss had a game.
And Zach Moss had a game, for sure. And the thing with the media overblew it, right? They're like, there's no chance JT and the Colts.
The only mainstream media guy I think I was close, people were saying, was Tom Pelissero.
Yeah.
That's it. Every time Rappaport was on McAfee's show, he was just saying, if it looks like he's getting traded. Now, shout out Edgerrin James.
Yeah.
Because it was mediation, because he was asked us in the presser, how much is the edge helping him out, mediating helped. He's like, listen, when you listen and talk, I would be an idiot not to listen to what he was saying because I'm in the same situation. I think it was Ballard who reached out last week, and they sat down. Obviously, Edge came in, Edgerrin James, and figured it out. And it was very confusing when his agent tweeted for the shoe before we found out the actual news.
The thing was, he got activated.
Yeah.
He was going to play.
His agent tweeted for the shoe. Hashtag for the shoe.
Legit, he got activated. 20 minutes later, agent tweeted for the shoe. 5 minutes later.
So everybody was like, oh, he's excited for Jonathan Taylor playing.
Yeah, and then 5 minutes later, the contract news broke out.
Yeah, so...
all in a span of an hour, basically.
Which is perfect. Anthony Richardson on a rookie deal, and it worked. And he was also asked before we get to the game what it means for the running back market. He believes that this will help shift the market for the running back market as well, right? Now, my question to you is, before, I think I know where you're going to go with this, but my question to you is...
I'm going to say right now, anytime running back gets paid, it's going to help.
Okay, but here's my question to you. How much of this is just Jim Irsay doing what he always does, pay his guys, or do you genuinely believe it's going to be a big, like, actual shift? Because next year you have Derrick Henry, you got Saquon Barkley, you have Josh Jacobs, Ezekiel Elliott again. Some of these names are back on the market.
The difference is this, like, there's top-end guys that deserve to get paid, like Jonathan Taylor, like Saquon Barkley. I could throw Josh Jacobs last year, obviously.
He only had one great year.
But he only had one great year. And obviously, I could throw in Derrick Henry, but his age is not helping either.
But he's still great.
Most confident one I'm in is Saquon Barkley getting paid. And
after what you see from the Giants this year.
After especially what you've seen from the Giants, because the 3 games he's not playing, they're not good at all. So the most confident I'm in is Saquon Barkley. Derrick Henry, I don't think...
Do you think he's going to be in a Dalvin Cook situation, or do you think he'll genuinely get paid by a team, whether it be the Titans, or because they have another running back that played today, Spears, I think?
Yeah, the rookie.
Or do you think a team could pick him up? So do you believe it's just more so Irsay is just paying his guys, or do you believe there's going to be a genuine shift in all running back market? Not just Saquon Barkley. Like, more running backs will get more... will Zach Moss get a payday from someone?
Those ones I don't believe so much. But, like, I feel like it will help the Saquon Barkley situation a little bit better.
Just Saquon?
Opinion, yeah.
So
maybe Derrick Henry.
So you're leaning more towards that as Irsay just paying his guys.
Yeah,
kind of.
For sure.
Let's see. The true test, obviously Bijan's younger, so I could see him, right? But, yeah, no, welcome back. But there's a little bit of bad news before we get to the good news of the game. The thing we really wanted to see didn't happen because 2 reasons. One, he was on a pitch count, I guess you could say. Snap count, I guess, yeah. But B, Anthony Richardson once again is injured. And this time it looked more serious than the other ones.
Sprained AC joint.
That's what it's diagnosed as right now.
MRI will probably get a report.
X-rays are negative, but
report should be out by the time this is out. But right now X-rays are negative. MRI is happening overnight, I think, and it's sprained AC joint, and it's no joke injury. Like, it's a painful injury. Derek Carr has it. You could play through it, but at the end of the day, it's a pain thing. Like, how much can you tolerate it?
Yeah.
Some people will do it better. Some people could do it worse. Some people might have a grade 2 sprain, where some people might have a grade 1 sprain. So it just depends on Taylor. Richardson.
Yeah.
And I personally believe he's out for next game.
Yeah. No, we'll see what happens. Yeah, that's the part that sucks, unfortunately, because he still didn't get his first NFL win,
but
on his own.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't. Like, he will be back this season. That's one thing I'm confident.
Hopefully, because we need to see JT and him together.
He will be back this season, but I don't think he'll be back next game.
JT obviously didn't have his a JT game except for the one screen pass, but whereas Zach Moss looked like JT from 2021. So this game line, the 2 guys that dominated was DeAndre Hopkins and Zach Moss.
Yeah, 100%. O-line as well. Colts O-line. Yeah. Credit. Ryan Kelly came back. Definitely made a difference.
Did not mention Denico Autry's name once because that's who usually dominates us.
Quentin Nelson is back. As simple as that. Last year was a blip. And Will Fries probably had his best game.
And we didn't hear much of Blake Freeland, which is good.
Yeah. And the O-line cooked. Zach Moss cooked. Gardner Minshew still came in and did his thing.
Pittman. Josh Downs.
It's not Pittman, it's Josh Downs.
But Pittman also was Josh Downs started off hot with Anthony Richardson and continued that with him. And Alec Pierce made a clutch catch at the end to kill the game, essentially.
That drive at the end of the game where it killed like 8 minutes of clock starting from their own 4 or 6, whatever it was. And they took it all the way to Tennessee 20. Tennessee in the red zone at least. Yeah, they wanted to finish off with a touchdown. But field goal worked, and Julian Blackmon, Tennessee got the ball back. Field goal worked, whereas Tennessee needed a touchdown to tie. And then Julian Blackmon got the game-clinching pick.
The defense stepped up when it needed to. Obviously, the last 2 weeks, the defense hasn't been the greatest. Zaire Franklin aside.
It was just Rams game. Ravens, they were fine.
That's the last 2 weeks. I meant to say this week and last week. Like this game, last two games.
Yeah.
Because technically the game's over. So, except for Zaire Franklin today,
Buckner
and Buckner, I would say were the two standouts.
Yeah.
But we do need a corner. As good as Juju did, D-Hop cooked. And the guys that always killed Indy wasn't Derrick Henry. It was always A.J. Brown.
The wide receiver, yeah.
Yeah, and now
D-Hop.
D-Hop. And this is exactly why I wanted D-Hop. Because I feel like D-Hop would be the elite number one we needed, and Pittman and Downs and Pierce and all these guys could cook. I really hope D-Hop gets traded at the deadline because I hope Titans obviously don't do well. This is the reason why outside of the O-line depth, keyword depth, I want a cornerback, which is why I miss Stephon Gilmore now.
Yeah, for sure.
So much. Because Stephon Gilmore probably didn't expect the Indy to be this good either.
Yeah.
Because we easily could have been undefeated. Let's just say realistically 4-1.
I mean, we had a lead against Jacksonville in the fourth.
Yeah.
We
came back, Rams.
If we just did something relevant in the first half,
we could have won that game. And had moments to probably win as well.
Yeah.
And cornerback is big because if that's fixed, Juju is on the come up, and
he's looking good.
He's looking good, and then on top of that, Shaq, as long as he gets back to it, because right now Zaire Franklin and him swapped roles. It's kind of like Zach Moss and JT from today.
Yeah.
This team could be legit in a couple of years, right?
Yeah, and they could be scary.
Offensively, like I said, elite number one. I'm fine with our tight ends. Jelani could be coming back.
Tight ends are fine.
Now I think we might be, depending on what happens, we might be out on Marvin Harrison Jr. So that being said, go get Terry McLaurin. Then.
Yeah, if you
can,
available,
I'm down to give up a pick, first round pick, and that's it.
But yeah, this team's looking.
It's looking good.
It's ahead of schedule.
Gardner Minshew is gonna do well, and let's see what we could do in Indy. He's going back to the town where he made his name. So
yeah, he's going to Jacksonville, and they're ahead of schedule, like the Texans, in my opinion, and they could be a couple pieces away, but the big piece is keeping Anthony Richardson healthy. That's the biggest piece.
We all know Kyle Shanahan is probably coach of the year right now. Probably.
Yeah.
Unless there's a real team that surprises you.
But Steichen's getting in the conversation.
But Steichen should be in the conversation.
Yeah, 100%.
If Indy wins the division, Steichen could be coach of the year.
He should be.
If one of Houston or Indy make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Those
Steichen
two should be considered.
Steichen should be.
I'm just saying one of those, D'Amico should be considered as well.
Should as well.
I think that's it for the NFL mainly. I think unless you want to talk about any other game.
Monday night picks.
Going before we go to Monday night picks. Any game you really want to talk about?
No, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
By the way, this week's buys were Cleveland, Chargers, Seattle, Tampa.
I mean, they probably know that.
Yeah, but maybe not, right?
If it's not their team, they don't care.
Yeah. Monday night.
Because I didn't care.
Monday night, Green Bay and Vegas.
I like Aiden.
This is a little tough.
I want Aiden O'Connell to start.
It's not. It's confirmed Jimmy Garoppolo.
Then I'm picking the Packers.
It's confirmed Jimmy Garoppolo.
My pick is the Packers. I'm disappointed.
But how much?
No. Huh?
How much?
By a score. I'll say touchdown.
Okay, so you're not going like, oh my. Okay.
I'll go like I might go with 10. I might go like a 30-20. I'll go with that.
So that's more than a score.
Yeah, I said I'll switch to 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Vegas home. In my personal pick, I have to stick with that, right? I pick Green Bay.
Yeah, I pick Green Bay.
But I will not be surprised if Vegas wins somehow. Especially if it's the Green Bay we think we thought it would have been.
Devontae Adams questionable as well.
Yeah, he's playing his old team though. That's the question mark. But the problem is he gonna get the ball?
I mean, Garoppolo's leading.
I'm gonna go Green Bay within a score.
Garoppolo missed a game and is still tied leading in picks.
Yeah,
with 6 interceptions. So we don't know what's gonna happen there.
Yeah. So Green Bay
and Josh McDaniels should be fired.
Yeah. So quick update. Josh McDaniels, Brandon Staley. Are you putting Frank Reich in there now?
Yeah, if they're freaking 0-10 or something.
Michael McCarthy, is he gonna go in there now?
I feel like he's there all the time. He should be there, but
how much time before he put Zach Taylor in it?
I think
they played Arizona.
But I don't think he gets fired this year. No matter
because of the injury.
Happens. Huh?
Because of the injury.
Yeah, I don't think he gets fired this year. Maybe next year, but not this year.
So if you were to power rank, is Frank Reich on the top now, or are you still going with Brandon Staley as number 1? Just because of the expectations.
Brandon Staley is number 1. I want to put Josh McDaniel number 2.
Okay.
And then I'll go with Frank Reich.
All right. But the more likely in season 1 is probably Frank Reich, though. If it's still winless.
Yeah.
McDaniels. In season, I have to go with McDaniels or Frank Reich.
Yeah.
In
If it's
season.
in season.
Off season, it depends on what rounds are, the Chargers do in season for me
Yeah,
to
what
consider.
Chargers' end result is.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to the MLB playoffs. We've got some games done in the Divisional Series, ALDS and LDS.
Yeah, so as of this moment, Game 2 has been played for
AL.
the AL side, and Game 1 has been played for the NL side.
And so far, the one takeaway is the AL West is undefeated and the AL East is winless.
Yeah, Orioles are on the brink of elimination. Rangers up 2-0 on them.
Start there.
Astros lost, so AL West is not undefeated.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So,
at the time I saw that.
Yeah. And we'll start there. Texas is looking good.
They're in the same spot as they were in 2015. 2-0 up after home. And the Orioles are making the playoffs after a while. The Jays made the playoffs after a while. Is the Orioles
comeback could happen?
But no, this is what I feared for the Orioles. I think the moment too big at the moment. They're young.
They're young. Moment's too big. Jordan Montgomery pitched. Think Andrew Heaney pitched Game 1. Orioles have starting pitching issues, right? Their starting pitching is not elite. They're mid. They're good. And Nathan Eovaldi is pitching today. Tuesday.
Yeah.
To potentially close out the series in Texas. So obviously you don't have Scherzer and DeGrom.
Who knows? Because
out of all the pitchers, I would have Eovaldi on the mound for
Texas,
a potential closeout game for them.
Texas, not even just like past playoff series, but even during the season when they were comfortable, you saw what happened, right? I'm talking about like during the season. So
they don't make it easy on themselves. Exactly. That's for sure.
So I won't be surprised if Orioles do come back to make it 2-2. With that being said, you mentioned starting pitching for the Orioles. There's a name you mentioned. There was a name you mentioned off camera.
Off camera?
That Orioles for starting pitching next year.
Oh. It was like, I don't know, I just had this weird imagination as a nightmare for a Jays fan that Blake Snell comes back into division and plays for the Orioles next year.
Yeah, like we're not going to do off-season reactions right now, but I'm just saying like starting pitching-wise, they're probably going to hit that market big time. For sure.
Yeah, I think they were in the Verlander stakes as well.
And ended up getting Flaherty?
Flaherty at the deadline, but he's not an ace.
Yeah. So that being said, let's go to the other side. Twins not come back, but like they
tie up the series against the Astros.
Carlos Correa is showing why maybe the Twins are like, yeah, please come back to us.
Yeah. And big Game 2 for him. Three RBIs.
He passed who again? In the all-time RBI list, I think he passed some people.
I don't know.
I'll double check.
But starting pitching helps you win championships. So shout out to Pablo Lopez going 7 innings, 0 earned, or was it 7-0?
Yeah,
7 innings, 0 earned. For the Twins, obviously pitched Game 1 against the Jays and won Game 2 for the Twins against the Astros.
Carlos Correa breaks when he got his 2-run single.
Yeah.
Moves it to third place tie for most RBIs in postseason history. He passed David Ortiz and Derek Jeter.
Wow.
So now, we might make the joke of the brand trash cans might have to do something with it.
Trash cans might have to do something with it, but that is still a elite company no matter what happens.
Like, this is why you bring him in. This is why him being healthy was big for the Jays. Because I believe if he wasn't healthy, the Jays probably should have won that 100%. Like, I get it. The hitting.
I mean, Correa got the big hit to make it 1-0 in Game 2.
And the big out on Bo, right? So that being said, like, this is why he's a playoff performer. He's going against his old team, so he's extra motivated. That being said, Framber obviously didn't kill it.
He got killed.
He got killed. Verlander did well.
Which is the surprising one because he doesn't do well.
I thought Framber would have been the ace to start, personally.
I mean, it's still Verlander.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Like, you still start
I'm just thinking from this year because Framber was Cy Young candidate, right? So,
yeah, no, not really.
But he was on top 5 lists. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but it was still Verlander. And then Verlander, unlike another old pitcher that's really good, that we'll get into it for a bit, killed it, and who usually Verlander doesn't do it as much, even though they still won it last year. But these Astros, and they're not the same team for me as they were last year. Whereas last year I was like, okay, they're going to win the series, they're going to win the series, they're going to win the series. I do believe that Twins have a chance of upsetting here, and that's why I did pick them when we did our ALDS or last pod basically.
Our preview prediction.
No, that was for that, right?
Yeah. That
was for wild card.
Sorry. Oh, not that one.
Yeah,
last
just
pod.
our last
Yeah, you're
pod.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
last
I
pod.
forgot the freaking wild card series ended.
Yeah.
NL?
I know.
Okay, sorry. Wait. Do you think Texas closes it out?
With
When's their next? When's their Tuesday?
With Evaldi on the mound, I think they have the perfect opportunity here to close it out. So I'll say yes.
Okay, because we're recording on Wednesday, so potentially we could come back to, maybe all series ending.
Yeah, but like I mentioned before, there's a certain pitcher that didn't do well. That's really old and good, and his name is Clayton Kershaw, who doesn't perform well in the playoffs. Got bounced in a third of an inning. The Diamondbacks got to him, and we thought the Dodgers would win this series.
6 hits, 600. But you were more hesitant than I was.
I was hesitant a little bit because I think
because of the pitching.
Because of the pitching, yes. If your best pitcher is doing that, who else is gonna cook for you? I don't know who.
We'll see what happens. Obviously Arizona's bats went off. Corbin Carroll, Gabriel Moreno, obviously, were the big RBI producers.
Home run hitters.
But everybody had an RBI, I believe, except a guy who came into third base to fill in and their shortstop. And Lourdes. Sorry, no, Lourdes got RBI. Kettle Marte as well. Kettle Marte went 1 for 5.
But these Diamondbacks, the Orioles, it might be too big for the Orioles. But these Diamondbacks are still killing it. Yeah. Right.
Somehow, I'm surprised for sure because I thought I thought for both teams the same thing was going to happen. Right? Both teams the same thing was going to happen. I didn't think Orioles would be 2-0 down. I thought they would have split. With these guys, I definitely had more faith. Like that was my confident Dodgers sweep, right? And clearly I was wrong. I think I said Dodgers sweep if I wasn't mistaken.
I said Dodgers 3-1, but I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if Arizona pulls it off.
But at the same time, it's still the Dodgers.
They find a way to mess it up.
Not even just mess it up, they'll find a way to come back with those two guys in batting and hitting.
Yeah, they find a way to come back, but they also find a way to lose as well.
Yeah, that's true as well. But yeah, I think Dodgers will split.
They have to. They have no choice. Otherwise, they have to go away.
All right, let's get to the biggest one.
Phillies
Braves. Phillies up 1-0, 3-0 win.
3-0 win.
The biggest Jays performance I've seen with the Phillies. Like the Braves. Braves are like the Jays performance.
Oh yeah. So Phillies, I picked them, and they continue us.
Joe's like, I picked them.
They might lose the series, but I did pick them, bro.
Spencer Strider, 7 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned. So not like literally that was like Kevin Gausman performance.
That's really good.
That's the best way I could put it.
Yeah. Their bats didn't get going.
Now something happened. What was the controversial thing that happened?
It was like someone threw a can, right?
Yeah.
And then they drove in a Phillies run. The third run, though.
Third run, yeah.
So it's not like it was a 1-0 game where it drove in only Phillies run. Like, they were already down 2-0. And yeah, these Atlanta bats. I was more confident in Atlanta this year than I was last year because of one person being a little bit more healthy.
Yeah.
Which is Ronald Acuna Jr. But top to bottom, they didn't perform well on the batting side for sure. Whereas, I don't know who Atlanta's next starter would be.
Oh, okay. So Braves fan throw can after the interference call. So it wasn't like it didn't affect during the.
Oh, so it didn't affect the run?
So yeah.
So the run was legit.
Yeah, a controversial catcher.
It was a controversial call, yeah.
Late in game 1 of the NLD. So the call was controversial, and then people started throwing shit.
And then they started throwing shit.
So okay, so either way, it was a controversial call, but not because of the fan. The fan was being an idiot.
Yeah,
that's all it was. But yeah, I still think this is a 5-game series.
Yeah, I don't think they're out.
I don't expect Acuna and all these guys, Matt Olson,
to be cold.
Now I could be wrong, but I hope not.
Okay, Max Fried there's some injury issues with him, but he is starting game 2, which is good for Atlanta because he is one of their solid pitchers as well.
Yeah,
I think Charlie Morton's the one who won't be pitching in the series.
Yeah,
but Zach Wheeler's back at it again for the Phillies. So that is dangerous. But Philly stole a game without Zach Wheeler or Aaron Nola on the mound. And, yeah, so...
Houston aside, all the wildcard teams won this.
Yeah. And Atlanta's in trouble because Zach Wheeler is getting game 2. I think Aaron Nola will get game 3.
Yeah.
And should be probably, if there is a game 4, it should be probably Michael Lorenzen.
Yeah. No, it's gonna be tough, but I still Atlanta.
Unless they use Michael Lorenz in the bullpen. And it's Atlanta, yes, but I think the Phillies still find a way to win this out.
Yeah, no, but I'm not gonna count on Atlanta yet. That regular season, yeah, now I get it. We saw the Dodgers. We saw the Dodgers last year. I understand that completely. It's baseball.
So you think Atlanta will figure out 3-2 still?
Yeah.
I think 3-1 Phillies.
You're dropping it now?
Did I say 3-2 last time?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm confident. If they already got that win, right? They have 2 home games left. They could get it done there.
Yeah. All right. That's the playoff side of things. But we got some news off the field very quickly before we go into a quickfire. This could kickstart it. Mets GM resigns. Eplin. Now there is some controversy to it, so they're doing something. There's another one. Sorry, news. But yeah, it looks like there is some controversy. I don't know exactly what it is, but not surprising at the same time because you spend that much money and can't do shit. It's crazy.
Terrible job.
Couple of quick news. Sandy Alcantara, Tommy John surgery, will miss 2024 season.
Yeah. Big loss.
Joey Votto plans to play at least one more year and is hoping to return to the Reds.
Yeah.
If I'm the Reds, I would do it for cheap for sure, but 100%. I won't. At the same time, you do what's best for your organization. Yeah. And Ross Atkins, just very quick Blue Jays thing, says he was surprised and did not tell or inform Schneider to do that decision. Now, and some people are calling bullshit on not by us. I'm talking about front office. I think it was Dan Shulman called it bullshit essentially, saying that players wanted to. No, it could. Okay, no, he did say bullshit in terms of that players wanted Schneider saying, "I know it wasn't your call," and if that is legit, that Atkins is the one that did it, that's bogus. Like manager needs to do manage. GM needs to do GM jobs. Manager needs to do manager jobs.
Yeah, the GM doesn't get involved in making decisions on the field. And so that's MLB. That's it.
That's it.
So let's move on to quickfire. WNBA finals kicked off yesterday, where the Las Vegas Aces take a 1-0 lead
over the New York Liberty.
The 2 best teams in WNBA is like
99-82, but when I was watching the game before I left, it was a close game. Like the first half was a close game. The second half was the Aces came back a little bit. But yeah, no, like I expect this to be a 5-game series itself. Obviously, I have Aces, you have Liberty. That being said, it seems like to be a fun series so far.
I mean, this was predicted before the season even started.
Yeah.
So no one's surprised that this is a final. But yeah. Joel Embiid.
Next game Wednesday. Their games are spread out.
They're spread out?
Sunday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
It's weird. And then it ends on a Friday. But
yeah. So moving on. Joel Embiid.
Okay, so I want to see what you have to say about this. Joel Embiid has decided which country he wants to represent for international purposes. He had Cameroon, where he was born, France, which he has a representation, and the U.S. because he's been here since he was 15 years old. And he chose USA.
And then what was his reasoning?
Because I'll put up the exact tweet or whatever he said, but I'll paraphrase. His son was born here,
which I don't understand.
And I mean, you don't understand that his son was born here?
No, the reasoning.
And the second one was he wants to play with his NBA brothers and stuff like, pretty much that's it.
He wants to play for his son. Doesn't the son usually play for the father?
Yeah, that's true.
So that's reversed right there. That's number 1. Number 2, what was it? His NBA brothers play here?
Yeah.
I mean, you have NBA people playing in France.
Pascal Siakam.
And in Cameroon, right?
Yeah.
What about your Cameroon brothers?
Yeah. Listen, I'm been the type of guy, like, for at least club, I don't care. You do what's best for you, right? Yes, you might get annoyed with certain moves, for sure. Like, I understand that Kevin Durant decision of the Warriors is going to cause, not controversy. Chaos. I just didn't care, right? LeBron and all that. At the time, I did. After that LeBron situation is where, like, I don't care. Yeah. Like, you do what's best for you. Championship's a championship. If your front office is able to make a super team, that's good on the front office. Yes, the player could be a coward, quote unquote coward, but who cares, right? Internationally, though, is kind of weird to me because we have a situation with Sidney Leroux right now. I said as a joke that when the Canadian soccer thing, I don't blame Sydney Leroux, but at the same time, I'm like, you were born, fun fact, from Surrey.
Yeah.
Right? From BC. She's a BC girl, but her dream was always to play for Team USA. That's what's weird to me. And in this case,
Joe Embiid is worse. Reason being that
because it's already a
Cindy
super
Leroux
team.
had an American parent as well.
Well, no, she legit moved. Yeah, but her dad wasn't in her life. I'm not saying it as like a mean, that troll way. I'm saying like that's what I said. But she represents her mom, who's Canadian, more so. It's just she moved to Arizona at a young age to play for Team USA. That's what it was.
Okay, yeah, but barring that,
that's a different thing.
That's a different thing. Joel Embiid. What the hell, dude? like you're former super team of countries. Like US is already good. NBA brothers, stupid excuse because there's NBA in France and there's NBA players in
any country.
In any country almost. In Cameroon, you can't be switching up countries like that, right? You were born in Cameroon, right?
Yeah.
He was born in Cameroon.
He said it was a tough choosing to play, and he is born in Cameroon.
It's not tough when you have when you're guaranteed a gold medal. I don't think it was a tough decision.
I really wanted to participate in the Olympics. Embiid added, "That's been my goal and my dream."
How about you represent a country?
Well, France was also involved if you really wanted to choose. Listen, obviously, this sounds a little bit hypocritical because we're like, for Canada soccer, we're like dual nationals because, or dual, even for basketball, because Alex Adams did suggest Pascal Siakam to Canada as well, right? Yeah. But that's more different than the US. Now, Joel Embiid plays for Philly, so that's what helps being the US side of things.
I just don't get it.
I don't.
I don't get it. That's the thing. Like, if you had a better reasoning, maybe I would have said it, but I don't think your reasoning is good enough to back up what the real reason is, which is you're going to win a gold medal.
Yeah, like that's it. That's all
that's
this
the real
is.
reason. If you just said, I picked USA, I want to win a gold medal, I'd be fine with it. But you're hiding that fact.
That's the thing.
That's what's
I hate. That's one I hate. Because like,
because let's be
like
clear.
Samson Ebukam for the Colts, not to make it about the Colts, straight up said money was a big factor of why I signed here.
Yeah.
Right? He he's not here saying I want to win, I was a Colts fan or I was this, that. Like, he straight up said it. That, I respect that. For any team. That could have been for the Cowboys, that could have been for the Titans.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you're looking after yourself.
Right? Yeah, like, I have no issues for players playing for their family. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Looking out for the family.
Like, if you want to win, right, you could just say, I want to win a gold medal. And USA is the best chance I have at it. So, like, okay, I'll see you accept it.
Like, chances are...
In my opinion, you're hiding it.
Yeah. Like, if that's the reason, fine, whatever. You do you. Like, I've always had that mentality, but this has to come with criticism because I want... Now, a lot of this could be because, obviously, US, if people are probably pumped, right?
Yeah.
Or they're probably like, we still want some competition or parity, right? Because now a lineup of LeBron, Steph, KD... I don't know, AD and Embiid, or Kawhi and Embiid, or whatever it is.
Booker.
And then
probably Booker.
No, I'm just saying depending on what they choose.
Steph, Booker, KD, LeBron.
Yeah,
and
that.
Embiid.
Then off the bench you have Tatum, AD,
Kawhi,
Anthony Edwards, whatever, right?
Anthony Edwards.
But yeah, like for me, it's just like the competition. Like, France has a chance to win still. I know they had a shit World Cup. Don't get me wrong. But you're hosting.
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah, like, the fact that he didn't represent Cameroon, I don't care about that really, because Jonathan Davis from Brooklyn. So that we're being hypocritical here in that sense.
That's it. Yeah, but I'm just saying accept
this
it.
is just a super team. Like,
Accept
if he
the real
chose
reason.
France, I would have not cared.
But I'm just saying accept the real reason.
That's it. Yeah.
It's quick fire. We've been on it too long.
Very quickly as well, on Team USA, the coaches did say, like, the All-Stars that did come out, that some of them will not be selected still. So who knows? And everybody's wondering who could be talking.
So there's still like a selection process.
Yeah. But like they're saying like
process here, right?
Yeah, like obviously I think KD's a lock, but like maybe they're like Kawhi. Nah, I don't want Kawhi. Like that, it could be that. But yeah, so that's the Embiid thing. Very quickly in the NHL, the only thing we're gonna talk about is because we're Canucks fans. Minor trade, 5th round pick traded for Sam Lafferty.
You added center depth.
Center/wing depth, big guy, speed, penalty killer. Obviously this is a former Pittsburgh guy, so it kind of wakes them up.
But anytime you got in depth, I don't mind it for a 5th, especially.
Now,
so yeah.
For me, just can you find another defensive right shot, especially the way it's looking. It's not looking like the right. If Hughes and Hronek are together,
after that,
I was like, what the hell is going on?
After that might be an issue, yeah.
So yeah,
that's the Canucks.
we'll talk about the hockey tomorrow. So stay tuned for that.
And then finally, we're gonna soccer recap.
Yeah. So
Man United won.
So first off, before we get into that, another rest in peace. Man United great manager, not him, his wife, Lady Kathy. Let me just double check the name exactly. Alex Ferguson's wife, Kathy, Lady Kathy Ferguson, passing away at the age of 84, and obviously for Man United's heavy heart, because with how long she probably was involved with Man United, because of how long Ferguson coached. Big. So rest in peace to her. Condolences to the Ferguson family. That being said, recap, perfect tribute.
They won.
They won. Okay. Not even the win, but the way they win. Like, obviously watching that game were frustrating. Played good, but not great. Classic shitty goal allowed mentality drops.
Onana with a shit goal allowed again.
Yeah. But Ten Hag, this is the best managed game I think he had.
In-game adjustments were good. Finally figured it out.
Made
subs at the right time.
Give credit where credit's due. Harry Maguire had a great game.
Yeah, I'll give him that.
Give credits where credit's due. He brought on Scott McTominay and put him striker, and Jovan nicknamed him Scotland McTominay because he comes in 90th minute.
He always scores for Scotland.
And scores, and then 2 minutes later, Martial missed.
And a minute
later, Scotland scored the game.
Scotland scored the game winner.
Scott McTominay scored the game winner. Now, here's the tribute part. Ferguson was known for Fergie time, which was after the 80th minute, especially injury time. That's tribute number one.
This is after 90th.
Came back and won by 2 goals. Not even just a tie, or it was a tie game that led to a goal. 2 goals to win.
This was even later.
And number 2, because of the whole
after 90th,
96th minute, which you probably didn't get much of back in the day. And tribute number 3, Scott McTominay is Scottish. Alex Ferguson is Scottish. So I'm assuming his wife is also Scottish. Was Scottish, I guess. But it was like a perfect tribute. This is the stuff that makes me say it's like, yeah, sure, it's a coincidence, but is it really? This is where where God's real to me. Like, it's not just a coincidence. Like, it was meant to happen. It's like that script type of thing.
This is where the script is real.
Yeah. So God scripted it perfectly, and hopefully, like, obviously with the guest that we talked to, a hint I guess we could give is that he's a Manchester United fan, so it felt good talking to him. That he's like, and we're hoping that this is just a turnaround. We get healthy, because that's the key thing, and the confidence shoots up after the international break.
Yeah, it's international break next week, so it was a good time to rest players like Varane.
So that's the Man United. We'll just leave it there.
That's Man United there.
Recap number 2, sticking to the Premier League. Stick with the Premier League.
Arsenal, Man City.
Arsenal wins 1-0, but not without controversy once again.
First of all, this is Arsenal's first
win against City after a long time.
Yeah. Obviously, they blew it last year when they lost to them twice and then blew the title race. But this time, they finally got revenge, I guess.
They beat them in the...
Without Saka as well.
Yeah, they beat them in the Community Shield game.
Yeah.
And they won now. Erling Haaland has been missing the last 3 games.
He's a ghost.
I said, listen, Haaland's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying anything bad about Haaland. But when it comes to big games...
He's a ghost.
He's been a ghost, especially recently. And outside of that, the controversy was once again VAR. People love to shit on Manchester United by calling them Varchester United, or back in the day, they would get away with a lot of stuff. I could argue City gets away a lot more.
Yeah.
For sure. They already have 116 charges. And now you're telling me like that thing was not a second yellow or a red card or whatever the case may be. It was worse than Curtis Jones / Casemiro, from what I saw.
If those are reds, then
that has to be a red. Simple as that. There's no other way to look around it. And not gonna make this about Man United. I'm just saying, like, I'm not surprised that City got away with another thing.
Yeah, I guess.
Simplest way.
But let's just focus on the game a little bit. Our cousin who's an Arsenal fan, said himself, the only way you beat City is make the game boring as possible. And Arsenal did that, right? And they found a way to score. as well. I think it was Martinelli, right?
Yeah, I think Pep also messed up by subbing out Julian Alvarez.
Yeah, I don't know why.
No, I'm not even saying that. You're not saying that also because of your FPL. But
Julian Alvarez
the adjustments weren't the greatest.
Rodri's a miss. As simple as that. Rodri is a miss for them.
Yeah,
That
more
is clear.
so than
More so than De Bruyne. Rodri is a miss.
Yeah, no reason. But you know what the thing is? With also Liverpool tying to Brighton, 2-2, which controversy came there, but I get it. Liverpool will probably get a pass a little bit.
Liverpool got makeup calls.
Liverpool got some makeup calls, but
They got some
Castle
makeup
tying
calls.
West Ham was big. And Wolverhampton, Villa were
So
tied.
that tied everyone tied except for Arsenal City today.
Today, but Man United won, Chelsea won, which obviously that doesn't affect the title.
Tottenham probably.
And Tottenham won. But here's the thing: once upon a time, what was happening with the title race is now people as bad of a as shit of a start Man United has. We're 8 points off first, and we're 5 points off fourth, 6 points off City technically.
8 points is a lot. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but at this early on,
there was a time where like
we thought we were like 12.
we were like,
points.
okay, title's
messed.
done, like 100% gone. Whereas like same thing happened last year, but then when United went on the run, we're like, you know what, with a couple Arsenal wins and a City win here, obviously we did lose to Arsenal last year.
Yeah,
title could be within reach, but obviously that didn't happen.
Tottenham's on top of the table right now, tied with Arsenal. It's 2020, 18, 17, 16, 16, 14, 13, 12, 12, 11, 11. Like I'll go up there, like up to 12,
and we're at
10.
We're at 10.
Yeah, we're tied with Crystal Palace, who has a better goal difference.
Well, like we're 10th place.
Yeah,
but like the points 12. Yeah.
So like honestly, 8 points. Yeah, it seems it's 3 wins.
It's a lot.
Now one of the technically we lost to both of the top teams, but
because we already lost to Arsenal, we already lost to Tottenham.
But in general, 6 points behind City that's not a lot. Like any team, Chelsea still has a chance. As bad of a start they had. Newcastle, bad start they had, they still have a chance, right?
2 weeks ago we're like, okay, City's gonna run away with it.
Yeah, not anymore. City fell to third.
That's not the case anymore.
City fell to third, and yeah, I think us and City are the only teams that do not have a draw.
Yeah.
We're like the only teams that do not have a draw.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so
that recap there is big. EPL recap. Very quickly, Vancouver Whitecaps playoff team clinched officially. Inter Miami no longer a playoff team because Messi barely played
and they got cocked without him.
Yeah.
And another shout out.
Oh,
Lamine Yamal.
Okay, yeah, finish that because I'm gonna go back to Messi then.
Scoring for Barcelona today, becoming the
youngest Barca scorer,
youngest goal scorer in I think probably La Liga.
And the kid's 16, so
kid's 16, so we're just doing all this stuff. Becomes the youngest goal scorer in La Liga history at 16 years, 83 days. Barcelona did tie 2-2, but that's just incredible. He's already made history with getting called up by Spain's national team. I think scoring for Spain as well.
Might be playing against Chile.
And
at the
might play even against the World Cup, U17 World Cup as well. But yeah, this kid's making history. Barca people, don't put too much pressure on this guy because he's not Messi yet.
And he's 16.
And he's 16.
Going back to Messi for a second, he's in the best newcomer award, which makes sense.
And he's in the MVP race.
He's in the MVP race somehow.
No. Just
he didn't play enough for the MLS.
There's no way. There's no way. I get it. Like Messi's Messi, yeah, whatever. The games he played were all in the tournament, first of all.
Yeah.
And he can't be your MVP. As simple as that.
No. I don't know who could it be.
4 games is not enough. Just nowhere near enough.
Yeah. If he gets it, then you know it's a freaking.
He's winning a Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
If he's getting this is more of reach in the Ballon d'Or. It's 100% more of reach in the Ballon d'Or.
No, Ballon d'Or is a legit case.
Yeah.
Like this is not a case.
There's no way Messi.
This was like when Bruno first came to United, played like
whoever should. I don't know who the favorite for MLS MVP is.
Ryan Gauld should be.
That's a highway robbery right there.
Yeah.
If Messi beats
it's probably one like a St. Louis guy or someone like that.
Probably.
But I think that's it for soccer. I don't see. Let me just double check if there's any news.
Else. There's probably no transfer news anyways because there's no transfer window.
Yeah. News in general. If anything comes up, just quick refresh on Twitter.
Nothing to share. Probably.
I guess very quickly. NBA preseason started.
Yeah.
Vancouver, I wish we could have went, but yeah, that's all. NBA, which is a sign that we're almost starting the season. So
yeah,
best time of sports, man. October.
Yeah.
We're actually interested in the MLS and maybe slightly CFL
as well, because BC Lions are in as
BC
well.
Lions, even though a horrible loss in last game, but
Yeah.
we're going to a game, so hopefully it's kind of meaningful.
It's a useless game.
But it might be a
it's
useless
a
game.
meaningless game.
But yeah, with that being said though, thank you everybody for watching once again. As a reminder, dropping tomorrow NHL
NHL
season preview.
Season preview.
Make sure you guys
pod
Saturday hopefully, and check out our tier list for the NHL. And other than that, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Help us get to 200. We're inching closer and closer. And with that being said, anything from you?
No, I mean, you're the one who usually does intro and outro, so I don't just sit here and stare at you or just stare at the camera anyways.
Give you a chance to talk. Other than that, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Peace.